guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. If you're new, typically I make videos on lifestyle, travel vlogs, day in the life, work vlogs, and I do also occasionally review some beauty products. But today I wanted to sit down and talk about my proposal and engagement story, which happened a little over a month ago at this point. I know if you watched the Paris vlog, which was so exciting, that's where Nick, my fiance, and I traveled to Paris, and on the second day I ended up getting engaged. I kind of gave a high-level description of the story and everything that went down, but I didn't really share too many details, and I left a lot of you guys hanging and wanting more. So I thought today I would sit down and kind of talk through the process. So if you're curious to what actually happened that day, you can know. Or I also thought this would be nice for myself and my own personal use to like look back on years down the road, to remember and kind of remember these like little details that are more intimate that you might forget over the years. So let's jump in to the story.
And I take you in. I've been falling, calling. When I reach out, you will hold on. Was it a rainbow falling? Was it a rainbow?
So like I said, we had planned this big Europe trip for a really long time. Nick had just graduated from his rheumatology fellowship, so he had a month off of work between the time whenever his fellowship ended and whenever he started his full-time attending job. So because he had an entire month off, we kind of thought this was a really good opportunity to go to Europe and spend 2 weeks there, because when else in our lives would we have both of us being able to take off that much time at once? So we thought perfect for traveling to Europe. So we planned a trip to Paris, Bordeaux, Naples, the Amalfi Coast. We were staying in Positano. We also traveled to Capri one day, and then we finished up in Rome. So that was the plan for the trip. So we fly over there on June 30th, and our first full day there was July 1st. We were very jet lagged. We did a lot of different things in Paris. We saw the Eiffel Tower. We got macaroons at Laudry. We had dinner at this really cool place called 20 Eiffel that had a view of the Eiffel Tower. So, you know, watch that Paris vlog if you kind of want to see more of the day-to-day action. But that was our first day there. It was very exciting, but it was just a normal day. And then it was July 2nd, which was a Sunday, and that day also started out as a normal touristy travel day, where we went to Cafe Flore for breakfast. We had some croissants and these cute little cappuccinos that said Cafe Flore in the foam on them. We then went over to the Louvre and we saw the Louvre. We walked around the Tuileries Gardens. It was beautiful. We had a great day. It was like really nice weather that day. It was probably the best day in terms of weather in Paris for our trip. So it was really nice weather that day. Then we came back to our hotel, and all I knew was we were going to some kind of like fancy dinner that Nick had, you know, booked for us. So that was all I knew about the plans for the night. I knew we were supposed to get pretty dressed up. So we went back to our hotel around like 4:30, and we had to meet someone a little bit after 7. And that was like the first thing, like, who are we meeting? I had no idea. I had no idea what was in store for us that night. But we go back to the hotel and we get dressed up. We're both looking really fancy. I'm wearing this black dress, these gold strappy heels, and Nick is wearing a suit. And we're all dressed up, and we both get ready kind of early, and at about 6:30, like, there's literally nothing else I can do to get ready. Like, there's no more touching up of the hair, no more powdering of the face. Like, my bag is packed, everything is ready. So I'm feeling kind of nervous because, like, I don't really know what's up. Do I have suspicions? Yes. Were my nails done? Yes. But did I know exactly what was going to happen? No. I really had no idea what we were doing. So I started listening to some Taylor Swift to kind of try to relax and calm down. And I can tell, like, Nick is a little nervous. He's a little on edge. He is, you know, I would say less talkative than usual. So I know we were just kind of chilling in our hotel. till about 7, and then we go out of our hotel, and again, I have no idea who we're meeting, what we're doing, like what the plan is at all. So we end up meeting a photographer and her videographer and their assistant on the Pont de Bir Hakeim, which is this bridge that is across from the Eiffel Tower. And we're having a photo shoot. It was definitely like the most nerve-wracking photo shoot ever, because I definitely thought he was gonna pop the question like during the photo shoot, but that didn't happen. So we're taking pictures for like 30 minutes, and I definitely feel kind of tense and nervous, and they're having us do all of these different poses. Like they had us do this dip where like I leaned back into him and like extended my leg, and it was so hard. And then they wanted me to like climb up on this like cement that kind of like looks out across the Eiffel Tower, and I was like, no, I'm not climbing up there. I'm not standing straight up there. That seems like really dangerous. But we sat up there and we were just posing in all of these different shots. So we were posing and taking all these pictures, and then all of a sudden they go, okay, we got to go to our next shoot, so you know, we'll see you. And they like left so abruptly, and I was like, what the heck? Like, am I totally not thinking right? Like, we're not getting engaged today? Like, what? I was very confused. So then we walked onto the Seine, and that's where I see all of these flowers, this like red velvet carpet. It's like all set up, there's champagne, and I'm like, oh my god, I literally could not believe it. I was so excited, and I ended up walking down there with Nick, and that's where he proposed, and it was very surreal. The photographer and videographer ended up, you know, going down there, and they captured the moment in real time, so that was really special that it wasn't just like done at the end of the photo shoot. It was like its own distinctive thing, and it was right in view of the Eiffel Tower. It was close to sunset. It was kind of dusky out, and it was amazing. It was the best day of my life, and I feel like I could just go on and on about how special that moment was, but I also feel like I can't really describe how special and exciting it was. So after that happened, the night was not over. We ended up getting in a private car and going to this other location. I don't exactly remember what it was called, but it was this other bridge, and we took more pictures. We took like more like artsy pictures there. I really liked how those pictures turned out. After we did that, we got back in the car and we went down to the Seine again, and we got on our own private river cruise tour down the Seine, and we had more champagne. This was like our second bottle of champagne at this point. It was the best champagne I've ever tasted. It truly was. It was just like so crisp and refreshing. So we get in this like little boat. We have two captains, or like a captain and a co-captain, and they take us around the Seine for an hour. We get to see the Eiffel Tower at dusk. It's really beautiful. We see Notre Dame. We're seeing all of these different things in Paris, and I got this shiny ring on my finger, and I'm so excited. At this point, it was really the first time we were like alone together, so we were like and like reflecting on it, and I just like couldn't contain myself. I was like texting everyone that I knew, my parents, my friends. I posted Instagram stories, like all these people were replying to me, so it was really exciting. And that was probably my favorite part of the whole night, was just like sitting in the river cruise in the little private boat with Nick and just being so excited about everything. So we finished up our river cruise, and then we went back in the car to this like really fancy dinner at this hotel. And at this point it was like pretty late, because the sun sets very late in Paris, so it was like maybe like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night at this point. It was pitch black outside. We got to see the Eiffel Tower sparkle. It was very cold. We had like this fancy meal of like this like lobster spaghetti situation. We had some wine, and then we ended up going inside and having like one more drink at the bar because it was so cold. We couldn't stay outside any longer. And then our driver came and picked us up, and we went back home. So it was quite the night, quite the way to kick off a Europe trip. Definitely the highlight of the entire trip for me. I mean, how could it not be? we're obviously both so excited to start this next chapter of our lives together, and I'm going to be taking you guys along with me for everything, for all the wedding planning, for the dress shopping, for the mood board, for the bridesmaid boxes. So you know, be sure to be subscribed if you like wedding content. I will show you guys my ring. Here it is, close up. I feel like I don't know how to take like aesthetic ring pictures, so if anyone has any tips, please let me know. But it is a radiant cut, it's square, and there's diamonds around the band. It's gold. It was custom ordered, so if you are looking for something like this, you know, ask your jewelers if they can do something custom. So yeah, Nick designed it. I did tell him kind of what I wanted, like I wanted a gold band, I liked the square cut, but he was the one that really executed the vision and got it together, and I love it so much. Yeah, it's just a dream. I can't believe I get to wear this. I can't believe I get to marry him. I can't believe everything that happened in Paris. It's just been so exciting, a really, really exciting month. And I'm just looking forward to the whole process of planning a wedding and everything that we get to do next. So I wanted to sit down today and tell you guys about our story. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about, you know, the photographers or you know, recommendations for Paris or anything, if you have any advice for me as someone that's newly engaged, you can also leave that in the comments. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.